Welcome to the Deep Dive into Success podcast. Jason and Rebecca are ready to fuel your next move. Every insight here is a spark. Ignite change. Seize the moment. Take action today and shape your tomorrow. Check us out by listening. And if you like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe to receive notifications when new content is available.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really digging into something maybe a bit unexpected in high-stakes selling. Forget that perfect script for a second. We're talking about why your voice, your tonality might actually be the biggest lever you have. And the weird part, that typical sales enthusiasm, that high energy, it can actually, kill the very deals you're trying to close.
Oh, absolutely. It's true. That kind of super high energy delivery, it just screams neediness. And it signals you're not objective. Right away, the prospect thinks, okay, this person's just after the commission, not this person's here to help me figure things out.
Yeah, exactly. Not diagnosing.
Right. So this deep dive, we're looking at the NEPQ framework. That's Neuro-Emotional Persuasion Questioning. And the whole point is to shift the salesperson away from, salesperson, and more towards being like a trusted advisor or, a professional diagnostician.
Like a doctor or a lawyer, right? Someone who projects authority through calmness, not hype. So if you want that authority, you need to sound like you already understand the problem and maybe the solution, not like you're just cheerleading.
Exactly. That's the core idea. Real professional confidence. It comes across through composure, measured pacing. It's not about being loud. It's about being controlled.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How does it work in practice?
Well, it really comes down to mastering psychological control through essentially 3 specific tones, 3 ways of speaking.
All right, let's break this down. Where do we start? The foundation, I guess.
Yeah, the foundation is what we call the neutral conversational tone. This is your home base.
Okay, neutral conversational. So if confidence is composure, what does that sound like? And when do you use it?
Right, so think of it as your default setting. You'll probably use this maybe 80% of the time. It needs to sound calm, measured, a bit lower in pitch naturally, like you're just chatting about something ordinary, the weather, the news.
Okay, so super low key.
Exactly. It disarms people instantly. It signals, hey, I'm not a threat here. I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
You absolutely need this for those initial discovery phases, the connecting questions, building that early rapport. You have to sound safe before they'll open up.
Makes sense. Build trust first. But, okay, safety doesn't really push someone to change, does it? What happens when you're neutral and the prospect just says, nah, everything's fine? If you stay neutral, then the conversation just stalls.
That's the perfect point. That's where neutrality isn't enough. You need to introduce doubt, but without sounding, pushy or confrontational. And that's where you shift. You pivot to the second tone, the disruptor tone. We often call it the skeptical or doubtful tone.
Skeptical. Okay. So you're not agreeing with their everything's fine. How does that sound?
It's used carefully, sparingly, but it sounds, mildly inquisitive. There's a slight lift at the end, like you're a little surprised by what they said.
Ah, okay. So that's where the real persuasion starts, maybe. Because you're challenging their current reality, their status quo, gently, forcing them to kind of think deeper. So like if you're using a problem awareness question, a PQ, and they brush it off.
Exactly. That's the moment. They say things are okay, and you come back with that slight surprised inflection. You might say something like, wait, so you actually like paying those rising fees every month? You hit that word like with a bit of surprise.
Gotcha. You emphasize the verb there, like. It forces them to stop and actually defend something that's probably uncomfortable. Clever.
It makes them articulate the problem. They start persuading themselves. And then only after they've really owned that cane, they feel the consequences.
Right.
That's when you move to the third tone, the anchor.
The anchor. Okay, this sounds important. The soft certainty tone. This one feels like it needs precision.
It absolutely does. It has to be confident, yes, but also firm, slow, and low-pitched. But crucially, it still needs warmth. It can't be cold. This tone says basically, okay, I understand the problem. It's serious, but it's solvable. And I'm the person who helps people solve this exact thing.
So it projects quiet competence. Not loud, but certain.
Precisely. And you save this. It's reserved only for when you're anchoring the solution, really framing it, or when you ask that final commitment question.
It's interesting you mentioned the physical aspect, too. I heard top NEPQ folks use something, the hand-to-chest technique, to make sure this tone lands right?
Yes, that's a great practical tip. It's a physical anchor, really. When you're asking for commitment, it's natural to feel a bit anxious, right?
Yeah.
And anxiety makes your voice pitch go up, which again sounds needy.
Right, when you need to sound the most certain.
Exactly. So placing your hand flat on your chest, it just helps ground you. It forces the resonance lower, deeper into your chest cavity. It helps maintain that lower, warmer, more empathetic tone, even when you're being very direct and authoritative.
So bringing it all together, mastering these tones isn't just about vocal tricks. It's about fundamentally changing the dynamic. You shift from being just another salesperson, a commodity almost, to being a valuable professional, someone whose advice people actually seek out.
That's the goal. Tonality is maybe the quickest way to signal your intentions. Are you here to push a product, or are you here to genuinely solve a problem? When you really commit to that neutrality as your base and use certainty effectively, you stop needing to sell features so hard. You start attracting clients who already feel confident in what you can do for them just by how you communicate.
It really reframes the whole interaction. So for everyone listening, maybe the question is, what's one small shift you could make in how you sound right now? What current sales habit, maybe even one you're not aware of, is subconsciously pushing prospects away instead of drawing them in? Maybe just start by noticing your pitch.
Thanks for diving deep with us on this episode of the Deep Dive into Thriving Successfully. We hope you found a quick hack to take action on today. If this episode moved the needle for you, please take 1 second to hit that follow or subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. It helps us reach more people who want to start thriving. Our content is 100% based on listener requests. We want to cover the topics you struggle with. Drop your episode suggestions in the comments or send us an email directly at deepdive@lfeg.info. And the best way you can help us is to share this episode with a friend or colleague you care about. Let's build a thriving community together. Until the next dive, keep crushing your goals.